Alright, start recording for YouTube. So, first league, Matt's playing Bogles. Not again. Tell him to give it up. It's beating a dead Bogle. So, first league of the day, playing through some Grixis Dress Down, deck that Aspiring Spike has been playing to great success recently. We played it on Tuesday, Monday, and went 4-1, so we're going to give it another try. Made a couple changes to the sideboard. The main deck felt pretty good. The sideboard, I swapped out the Unearth for a Kolaghan's Command and the 3 Soul Guide Lanterns for 3 Nihil Spell Bombs. We found ourselves just like straight up dead to a Chalice of the Void, and I realized we have like no answers to resolve Chalice whatsoever. So I wanted to throw a K command in there, see how it felt. Otherwise, rest of the main deck, as people have probably seen it by now, the primary draw to card or to a card like Dress Down, 2 mana flash enchantment from Modern Horizons 2. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, so it always replaces itself. Creatures lose all abilities at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice it. So you get to do things like turn your Death Shadow into a 13/13 for the turn. You can cast a Kroxa without having to escape it and have it stick around. You don't get the ETB ability though. You can have opposing elementals lose ETB abilities. You can kill constructs. A lot of cool text on Dress Down that you don't really think about when you look at the card at face value. In combination with Dress Down, we've got things like 4 copies of Drown in the Loch, 4 Expressive Iteration, the 7 discard package, 3 Inquisition, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Dragon's Rage Channeler, plus 4 Ragavan Nimble Pilferer to round out the threats with our Foreshadow 2 Kroxa. Reorganize this a little bit. In the sideboard, we've got 2 copies of Flusterstorm. I've been really impressed with Flusterstorm recently. Huge fan of this card. 2 Terminates to take care of any annoying threat we can come up with. Unholy Heat, great piece of 1 mana spot removal. 2 Alpine Moon for things like Tron, Urza, Saga, annoying lands we have to deal with. The Kolaghan's Command that I added over the Unearth to see how that goes. 2 Engineered Explosives for the Go Wide decks, the 1-drop decks, the Pro Red creatures, 3 Nihil Spellbomb. I don't think Leyline of Sanctity's been too relevant, and I think Spellbomb just like beats out Soul Guide Lantern for that spot. And Luris is our companion. Pedro, how's it going? Goose, how's it going? Otech. Alright. Let's jump into our first match. See what happens. Again with some Grixis Dress Down Death Shadow. Let's go find our matchup sheet. Goose. Currently 0-8 in league games. How do I stop being bad? Oof. Is it like 1 league and you're just 0-4, 0-8? What are you playing? What have you played against? Give me some context here. Need the deets. Don't listen to any advice I have. Went 0-3, dropped twice, and started a new league, 0-2. So you're 0-8 in matches. Yeah, like what deck are you playing? What kind of stuff have you been seeing? Played Is It Blitz, got 2 Tron, 2 Rhinos, 3 Tron. So like you had a league of 2 Tron. So if you had 8 matches and it's been 5 Tron and 2 Rhinos, or 5 Tron and 3 Rhinos, whatever it is. That's rough. Alright, 2 Tron, 2 Rhinos, 3 Burn. I mean, that at least gives you something that you can probably target, right? It's like, if you're playing Is It Blitz and you're seeing a bunch of Tron, you've got access to Blood Moon. Burn's a little rough, but you can always go up on things like Spell Pierces. Never saw Cascade, so I took out Void Mirrors. See, that's what happens to me. Like, the second I take out Void Mirror and run Chalice of the Void, it's just like Tron, 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 Eldrazi, Tron, Tron. And then I add Void Mirror back in. It's like living in, Rhinos living in, and they're all just sitting on Griefs and Foundation Breakers and all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't get too frustrated over league results. I know that it's difficult to say that a lot of the time, but leagues are like the most non-representative thing imaginable. There's no pattern to them. There's no consistency. There's no prepping for them. Like, your best bet in leagues is just to play something so far out of left field that nobody, including yourself, has any idea what you're trying to do. I was told if you fire up a league and you don't go 5-0, your shit and should burn your magic cards. Well, then I've got stacks of cards I need to light on fire immediately. Because I have plenty of leagues I don't go 5-0 in. Come back here, match. This is the right width. Reveal our companion. Hand's not bad. The X1 dropped maybe 6 or 7 times. God. It's the trophy pressure for sure. All right, opponent mulled to 6, didn't reveal a companion. So let's see if we can get an idea what's going on. So it's like blue, white, something, Murktide is my guess. So I get sorcery instant in the yard. I'm just gonna kind of hope to hit a hand disruption spell off one of these iterations. See. It's a really what's a good way of putting it? It's a really complicated what's the word I'm thinking of? Almost like waterfall of what's going on, because like yes, it's trickling down. Yes, he loses money signing up for new leagues, but if it gets people excited and gets more people viewing the channel, more subs and follows coming in, then he's gaining more from that as he goes along. So even if he loses some money with the actual bet, or with O2 dropping leagues, O1 dropping leagues, like if he's making up for it in viewership and subs, it's honestly worth it at the end of the day. He's got an iteration of his own. I kind of want to just take the iteration and let him to fairy, because then I can go like Dragon's Rage Channeler, or bolt him Unholy Heat the Teferi, something like that. Blowfish coming in with a 4-month resub. Thank you so much. Hope you're having an awesome Tuesday or Thursday so far. All right. I kind of like just don't want him getting back into this with iteration. Maybe that's a little greedy, but what did I miss? You think he's losing more going next one drop than he's making from viewers during the trophy race. So you're agreeing with what I said, is that he's making more in the long run by doing the trophy race in general, which I think is probably the case. All right. So now we can kind of do it all. He's got a prismatic ending. We're just gonna season him again. I do have to go down to 6, which is a little dicey here. But if I get to go down to 6, but do like everything I want this turn, I think that's okay. Dramatic ending, yep. So now I need to bolt him. Or am I supposed to bolt? Like, I could Unholy Heat to Fairy, and if I flip over something for Delirium, then I just get like a free kill him with Unholy Heat. But if I don't flip over Delirium, I'm in a rough spot. I need him not to have like a Murktide this turn. Did opponent forget to activate Teferi? No, he took Teferi up, right? No, he did forget to activate it. Forgot it comes in with that much loyalty. Alright, so let's get iteration off. I can tap my mana correctly. Ragavan. Do I want a Ragavan? No. Let's go Ragavan to hand, Thoughtseize to the bottom, Channeler to exile, cast Channeler, cast Shadow. Now, even if he's got like a Supreme Verdict, I get to follow it up with Ragavan. Alright. The bench message is not to you, just replying to being brain dead. I mean, everybody's gonna have their opinion. Like, I'm fine with people having same or different opinions than I do. Alright. Is Unholy Heat still good with 2 Croxa? Asking for genuine curiosity. I think it's still fine. Like, you've got Dragon's Rage Channeler flipping things into your yard to help escape with, like, non-delirium cards for Croxa. As well as just playing such a high amount of 1 mana and 2 mana spells. Like, you're going to be filling up your graveyard pretty consistently. So I wouldn't worry too much about, like, not having the stuff you need available. Or not having extra cards in your yard to be able to escape, or... the bomb in Washington was real or fake news? I have no idea. See, so Dress Down's a little bit less exciting here. Lightning Bolt's not the greatest. Maybe I don't want 3 Unholy Heat. I can trim a Ragavan on the draw. Yeah, I'm not going to bring in the 3rd Unholy Heat since I brought in the 2 Terminate. But we did see Murktide when they Thought Scoured, so I know they've got Murktide in their deck. 1 land. This would have been great. Ugh. Alright. I'm gonna keep it on the hope that I have a couple draws at a 2nd land. I've got some 1 mana plays. Not a great hand. Fairy Bolt counterspells, like exact same hand as the last game. Alright, take Fairy this time. I don't have a way to deal with it if it sticks. They've got Fire and Ice too. Ragavan not looking too great here. We'll see. Maybe we draw like 2nd land Thoughtseize or something. Alright, so 2nd land is good. I think I'm just gonna cast out this Ragavan. He's got the Bolt. I know he's got the Bolt. But I wanted him to start putting cards in his graveyard to get these Drown in the Locks active. Alright. You too many Drown in the Locks. Stop him drawing a card. I know 2 of his cards are Flooded Strand, Counterspell. Yeah, if he doesn't draw anything hugely relevant there, I just get like a free passing of the turn. But if we can start finding some lands, maybe we get to Luris plus Drown territory. Yeah. Probably gonna end up, like, sacking Spell Bomb on his turn. Makes Drown worse, but I really don't want him to have Murktide mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He can make Murktide a 7/7 if he's got one and cast it this turn. No, I'm just gonna risk it. Just try to wait to get, like, actual value off my Spell Bomb. So I know he's got Counterspell Island as 2 of his 3 cards. Yep. Alright. This turn I'm Spell Bombing. I've, like, gotten a good bit of use out of my Drown in the Locks here. No, I don't want to be famous. Still don't want to be famous. Go away. Alright. Ragavan, you say? I used Counterspell. It's 2 unknowns. I'm gonna take my draws because I want to find more lands. Am I just jamming Luris here? Probably got a counterspell, but yep. It's all 3 counterspells. Not in too much fear of just dying to, like, random bolts. Alright. Now we need a threat. And that's a threat. It's not a threat. I was really hoping he was gonna go for like Archmage's Charm, steal the Channeler. Alright. Teferi is annoying. We've got the Unholy Heat. Yep. Do I want to split a pizza? Like ordering one? That's good. Got like a 4-way pizza split going on. Sure. Take that one. But drown in the lock on top, so go ahead and Unholy Heat this. So there you go. Hope they draw dead this turn so we can attack down Teferi next turn and have Unholy Heat and Flusterstorm. Just make sure to send the pizza to Colorado, wherever Griffin's at. I think we can do that. Believe we can do that. And let me kill the Teferi. Sweet. Alright. Let's get there, little channeler. Pick up a few Street Wraiths for Mike. I think I got a couple Street Wraiths. Got some pretty sexy ones, actually. Sorry, all the store had is monkey. It happens. Don't want it to be the case, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. Alright, what do you got? Really big shark typhoon would be pretty annoying. Yep. Can't attack. Play out Shadow. His charm. How many charms have they gone through? Just 2. They top deck back-to-back Archmage's charms. Just snap Archmage's Charm. So let's see. This is second spell, third spell, fourth spell. I can Flusterstorm. So I let them target this. Terminate, Snapcaster. Let them resolve Dragon's Rage Channeler. Not that it matters. Flusterstorm. Yeah. Yeah. Flusterstorm coming in clutch on like turn 15. Love to see it. Who says Flusterstorm's dead into the late game? I like how I thought Flusterstorm was jank when I saw you run it. I mean, I watched Aspiring Spike play it a few times, and it looked like pretty decent. But every time you run into like the Cascade decks or Living End, and you've got Flusterstorm, you're just like, yeah, I can't lose. Who cares about your 12 Force of Negations? I'm gonna Flusterstorm for like 14. Little Control Freak dance stream. Gabba Gandalf. Do you find that this version of Shadow is the best positioned right now? Tough to say. Like, I think that it does have a lot of really good tools. So you've got to give credit to it there. Whether any Shadow deck right now is like well positioned is tough to say. But I would certainly say that I think this version has a lot of the pieces you need to fight through a lot of different decks you can run into. I want a Kroxa. Yeah. If he dashes a Ragavan, I think I'm okay with that. He's already on a mole. And I've got chances to hit more land drops. I assume that means this is just like traditional Jund. No, my iteration. Boo. Boo. Darcy action. Okay. Kevin, you're in time for the first league. We don't even have no previous results. Playing Jund Shadow with Tarmo could be good in the meta. I mean, that's what I've been playing a lot of recently, and like the win percentage for Jun Shadow's been very solid. Like, basically never go worse than 3-2 with it. Oh, Gristy boy. Alright. Let's go. Bolt. Insect. Yes. Now I can just save the Unholy Heat. I want to just dash Ragavan at him. I guess I can just swing, like, both at him and still Unholy Heat the Grist. So close. If he does any sort of like hand disruption to get rid of Ragavan, I've just got Kroxa escaping next turn. Took your Jun Shadow list to an FNM and 4-0'd? Hell yeah. What kind of stuff did you play against? How did it feel? What were the matchups? Alright, so I'm just going to escape Kroxa this turn. That way, if he does have an answer to the Kroxa, then that's 2 cards out of his hand. Give me a little bit closer to... Alright. I was gonna say, give me a little bit closer to just, like, having Ragavan live. That's pretty good, too. Double Murktide, Rhinos, and Grixis Shadow. That's a pretty good run to go through. Congrats. Alright, so we saw Grist. Usually Grist and Kroxa are kind of like hand in hand. Maybe I want some number of spell bombs. Terminate's meh. Holy Heat's great. Really want Flusterstorm. I don't think Dress Down's gonna be where I want to be. Permanent Inquisition. Do I want Terminate? No. Maybe Dress Down's better than I'm giving it credit for here. Because, like, if he's on Seasoned Pyromancer, I can just stop the trigger. If he's on Tarmogoyf, I can shrink it and it dies to anything. Maybe like a couple Dress Downs over a couple Inquisitions. Something like this. See how it feels. 4 Spell Bombs against Murktide. Spell Bomb's a really good place to be against that deck. Faux show. Pretty good hand of Magic the Gathering cards. So I can turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 dash Ragavan if they don't have any way of dealing with it, and play Shadow. If they do have a way of dealing with it, I can just like turn 2 Kroxa. They've got Kroxa in basic forest. Let's take Fatal push. Typically, basic forest, not really where you want to be with Kroxa. Armagoof. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Armagoof. Are on Tarmogoyf. So this means if we go to game 3, I'm a little more likely to want Terminate back in the deck. Grixis. Alright. Sorry, Rajavan. Expressive them iterations. So let's go. I really don't want to fetch and shock down to 5. So I think I'm going to go Tarn to hand. So I can just make sure I have an extra land next turn. Ragavan to the bottom, Bolt to exile. Fetch up a basic swamp, play a shadow, say go. Kroxa's gone. Is this a Blood Braid? Speezy. Holy Heat's a decent draw. There are less Saga decks, could be better, more Terminates or in Holy Heats and Dress Downs. Well, Dress Downs, like, pretty good even against the non-Saga decks. Just because it always replaces itself. Do we have a basic mountain? We do. I'll get back Kroxa. Is that my best play? I think so. Leave so. But you could go lower on Dress Downs, but I do think the card is like pretty good in the deck. Seal removal is good versus Murktide Immoral. You are correct on that one. Alright, so basic mountain. Escape Kroxa. Land. Got 2 sorceries. There's no way to keep Delirium, right? I should have gotten rid of the other sorcery and kept a like a creature. Endurance. I don't think I can attack with the shadow this turn, because if they have a removal spell, they just kill me. See if he's able to get back his Kroxa. Corrupt Dikisi. So that does make Tarmogoyf a 0/1. So like if I attack and he tries to gang block, I can dress down. I can K command, like hit Pyromancer, make him discard, and that unlocks Unholy Heat. Decisions. I can Iteration. That doesn't give me Delirium. I can attack and see what he does. If I attack and he chumps with the elemental, I pass, rest down on his turn. I think I'm going to attack. Yep. I don't think I want to pass. I think I want to get, like, something off the board. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the 2. So, do I want Unholy Heat? Flash in Endurance. Alright. Let's see what they're drawing into. I don't have Bolt anymore. Push. So push means sitting back with shadows, not doing anything. Go ahead and get 2 cards on their turn just in case. Right. Yep. Had the bolt. Fair enough. Want Terminates back. I think I just want Terminates over Dress Downs. Probably the third Spell Bomb. Trim and Unholy Heat. As you saw, Endurance, so Graveyard's a little less safe. Alright. Satamai, tried this deck out, but just seemed to get Chalice all day. The deck is definitely very, very weak to Chalice. That's absolutely true. So make Ignoble. Next turn, Thoughtseize, terminate, play Ragavan. The next turn, I've got Drown in the Lock for the first Lily. Alternatively, I could take a Lily. Next turn, Thoughtseize the other Lily, played Ragavan. Gets terminate, and I've got Drown in the Lock. So it's either I take the two Lilies, leave them with Ignoble and lands, and I got Drown in the Lock in my top decks. Or I try to like ensure I get one hit in with Ragavan. So what's more important? Is it Ragavan it might be greedy. I think if I had a second threat, I would take the Lilianas. To your face. Okay. Get to Drown in the Lock the first Lily. That's a pretty good draw. Rin and 6. Don't mind if I do. I can get basic Mountain. Let's get back Scalding Tarn. It's a little mana inefficient to do this after I've fetched, but I kind of want to have... I kind of want to keep my treasures around. Alright, opponent. Think we're getting towards garbage time. Got a Lily and an unknown. Yep. Got my Ragavan. One. I guess we could have just Ren pinged them and bolted, but I wasn't thinking about the damage. Alright. Not saying I totally forgot we could just ping them with Ren. But yeah, that's a thing. Should have done that. Was in fact lethal. Sometimes you get caught up in wanting to do all the value things. You don't just kill your opponent. Not too often you get to do that, so. I need a new emote. I probably will get one, like, I know people have been wanting a Tarmogoyf emote, and that one might be the next. But like the issue with the Tarmogoyf emote is obviously I like the future sight art, and it's really difficult to distinguish what's what. Like I know it's like mouth, mandibles, arm grabbing a guy, top of his head. But, like, how do you distinguish that as an emote? You have to get, like, a chibi Tarmogoyf or something, where it's just, like, really animated and defined. Unless I just, like, have to get the Modern Masters one. Like, maybe that's better as an emote, but I don't want to do that one. Oh. No! Not like this. Alright, so let's ditch dress down second bauble. Original Modern Masters Goyf is best Boyf. Is it though? Still say future sight. Future sight or bust. And like, don't even get me started on the Ultimate Masters one. This one's terrible. Here I was thinking Affinity was dead. We've got planes off the top. If their hand is just like, I was gonna say, what's his name? Pure Steel Paladin, Hammer, Right? People who like the future sight goy fart shower with socks on. Don't tell me how to live my life. Shower how I want to shower. Seems like hammer. It could be anything. It could be like a really weird food deck. We just haven't seen the ginger brutes yet. At least we agree that Ultimate Masters Art's the worst. I mean, that's like not even close, right? It's like Modern Masters Art or Ultimate Masters Art is so far down the list. We get a land. High deck. Why do you wait to do this to me in the 11th hour? Super dead. Yeah. Need lands. Deck no function without lands. You have a bunch of things to bring in, so that's kind of cool. Brooks is a little meh with Sanctifier on Vec. Trim some hand disruption. Ragavan gets stonewalled pretty easy. Expressive iterations a little bit on the slow side. What do you think about taking out Void Mirrors for counter spells in the sideboard? You mean of 4-color? Where's our lands? Good question. Wish I had an answer. Take out discard spells. I don't think you want to take out all of your discard spells. Like, you can hit Luris with discard. You can hit, like, a hammer or something if they start off with a Sigarda's Aid. On the play, you can just hit the Sigarda's Aid. Like, discard spells are pretty important. Can't stand a list without Scourge or TBR. Probably my brain is too limited. I mean, Scourge just gives you like a lot of free wins. Scourge and Battle Rage. And I think that's typically important for a deck to have like long-term success. Is you just need that ability to say, oops, I win occasionally. Alright, so this hand's like really weak to Sanctifier on Vec, but everything else we're not terrible against. Every single time these decks lead with Memnite before they cast the Springleaf Drum. I'm just like, you guys know that if I just had a piece of removal there, you would like completely wreck your own plan, right? Scourge and Dress Down's an epic combo. It's an epic combo for someone. It's probably not as much an epic combo for the person casting the Scourge. Alright, well, like I said, we're really weak to Sanctifier with this hand. Also really weak to opponent just having like an affinity start. Ezekiel. I'm assuming he's memeing. But could be wrong. Could be dead serious. Forest to hand. Kind of just looking for a discard spell here. On Vec, Wizards always trying to control red-black power. So, like, Sanctifier on Vec, I think, is a little bit pushed. I don't think it's as bad as, like, Skyclave Apparition. But it's just on this list of cards that keeps getting printed. And you have to listen to, like... you have to listen to white players just constantly complain about, like, not getting good support. And you're like, at what point are you not getting good support? With, like, Sanctifier, Esper Sentinel, Prismatic Ending, Skyclave Apparition. Alright. Calm down. Calm down. Alright, am I just bolting Luris, drowning the Pure Steel? Rest down. The Stoneforge Mystic in green and black. No, come on, opponent. Swing. Swing. What's the worst that could happen? You have to bend that. Lets me pay for Esper Sentinel. Alright. I do still have a Luris that I've got access to. All right. Do I need to just flash this in now? No. Much as I want to. I think I'm kind of like setting up for next turn being like a big swing turn. if I live that long. All right, let's think about how this is going down. Let's say I attack with everything. And he goes block a channeler, take 4. I could dress down, trigger the channelers, but no, even if I turn on Delirium, Channeler loses that ability. Am I just attacking with Shadow? Passing. If I get dressed down on the board, I can Unholy Heat the Sanctifier. That's fine. The hope is that he just, like, makes another construct here. Right? And I'm gonna let him search up something, because it's gonna come in and make a Sigarda's Aid trigger that's got a target, and I can respond to that. Assume it's just a hammer. Get a hammer, try to strap it onto a Sanctifier. Yep, the hammer. Dress down. Bobble in the grave, sure. Bolt we'll put on top. One to prevent Esper Sentinel. Now we just get to go Holy Heat you. Sigarda's Aid fizzles. Sure. Go ahead and bolt the Esper Sentinel for good measure. Alright. Think we might be in an okay spot. So I can dress down on my own instep so that he can't use Luris on his turn, or Luris loses all abilities on his turn. Otech, yeah, I believe that's the play. Gotta stop on my instep. Believe that is indeed the play. This has been a funky one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go down 1 just to make what we've got on board. Where do I want to go down? I'm gonna go down 1. Just make it so that these channelers are lethal in the air next turn. Oh, you're right. Dress down is 13 damage. I don't think I get another stop before damage is dealt. Yeah. I thought he was blocking, so I would just like go ahead and, or I'd gone ahead and clicked through it. Stopped thinking about it. Was he at Was he at 16? Yeah, if he was at 16, it wasn't lethal. So we were right. If he was at 13, it was lethal. Or 15 or less. I think he was at 16, wasn't he? Because we were dealing 10. For 1, you won't, you coward. So did he top deck a hammer? Top decked a hammer to get out of it. Yep. That's a feel bad one. Have the lines, have the plays. Top deck hammer. Doesn't matter. Alright. Regroup. Luris mirror. Didn't matter if we didn't attack with Shadow. The Ink Moth gains flying after he activates it. I think I'm shifting this and on the draw. Mill. It's like the right play was just as soon as they didn't declare blocks. I guess no, we wouldn't have been killing them with dress down anyway. Your crab. Alright, so they're drawing into a drown. Pretty good. I think binning EE and pray for removal would have been safer, but of course still RNG. I mean, maybe, but feels kind of eh. Did we win against Hammer? No, we had him dead on board, and they top decked a Hammer with an Ink Moth out. All right. Dude, I played against him. This opponent talks a lot. He does, he does. I'm just getting a mountain and bolting him again. Nah. Swamp. Archive trapped me. Got a steam vents, a watery grave, got the basic mountain. Surgical my shadows. Seems good. Another, why would you not cast the second archive trap before surgical? I guess if he just knows he's taking crab or taking whatever, probably fine. Alright, well, if we can just top deck some lands. Never mind. We got no library left. 21 with Hitachi's off the top. Did he even mill? I don't think he milled 20 CMC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, he did. Oh no, he'd already exiled the shadow, so he didn't even mill 20 CMC. That's pretty funny. So, Fluster Storms, Spell Bombs. Everything else is pretty meh. Just boarding out all the dress downs. Call it a day. How do you surgical shadow? You cast surgical extraction targeting death shadow. If I had to take a guess. Alright. Not bad. I believe I'm just gonna lead on Channeler here. But hope everybody's having an awesome Thursday so far. Thanks so much for everybody coming and hanging out. If it's your first time on the stream, my name is Michael, or Control Freak on Magic Online. Play a whole bunch of Modern, especially a lot of Death Shadow. So if you're ever interested in checking it out, you found the right place. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to have a bunch of people in the chat that are way more knowledgeable about Magic than I am, and They usually grace us with some pretty great lines. Surgical, my channeler. Got it. Down, drown, eliminate, crypt incursion. Taking an eliminate. We've kind of got these drowns covered with spell bomb. Healed over. So Shadow would be good. Ragavan's good. Spell bomb a little less so. Alright, Visions into Archive Trap. Seems good. Let's spellbomb myself. Down Luris. EE. Pop bobble, get back bobble. Go. Drown's a good one. All right. So, I think I'm just taking a drown. That's fine. Why spellbomb yourself? You didn't have the drown mana yet? Because I wanted to draw the card in case my plans changed. Give myself the extra information before I make some decision. We the mill deck now. You talking now? Hadn't seen chat box light up, so. Archive Trap. Well, I know a certain scalding tarn that's never getting sacrificed. That looks like just lethal to me. You best believe we gonna attack with this Hedron crab. Alright, he's saying something. Maybe we'll check it out. I usually don't engage with people in chat. It's just like not worth it. Unless I recognize the person. Says, thanks Shuffler for free win. Tempted to tell him you're welcome. Not a crab. Next turn I can channel her Thoughtseize. Yep. Guess I'm just taking a visions. Weighs off of fractured sanity. Oh, that's a good one. That kind of messes up that entire plan. Now it gets to visions. I guess he's still short, isn't he? Let's think. Maybe I'm supposed to just cast Ragavan instead of dashing it there.
I'll tell you the truth.
I get to take another Field of Ruin though. I'm pretty happy. Take the visions. Rooksacoon. I get... I think I still have a Watery Grave. Need you to not have like a crypt incursion this turn. Right? Not a crypt incursion. So I've got lethal next turn with Kroxa attacks, escape second Kroxa. Doesn't find a mill 14 card here. He's got Fractured Sanities, he's got Tasha's. Why didn't I dash tag? Then I escape Kroxa because I want to hold up Spell Bomb. Escaping or dashing first doesn't change the clock. So we're just gonna maximize draws. We still got another lightning bolt in the deck, right? 1, 2, 3. So yeah. Herring Bridge, you say? Alright. Don't have another blue source. So, Drowned Hand. Inquisition to the bottom. Exile. You're drawing island. All right. Well, they'd be dead this turn if they didn't draw Surgical for Kroxa. Like, any card we suggested there, or any line we suggested, they could have prevented us dying by something. They could have had us dead to something else. Like, it's just anecdotal if we're saying, like, oh, you should have escaped or should have dashed Ragavan because they'd be dead if they Surgical Kroxa. Well, if we didn't dash to Ragavan, we'd be dead if they Archive Trapped. If we didn't dash Ragavan, they'd be dead if they did something else. Like, just picking and choosing. Could have read what opponent was saying at the end. Forgot to. Hand's not very good. Better. Ditching the steam vents. I'm just not a huge fan of the arguments that are like, oh yeah, we should have done this because if they had that one specific card that one time, it would have wrecked our world. So, I'm taking the charm. Considering bolting myself getting down the shadow this turn. I think I'm going to. Like, I'm already on a mole. So I kind of need to, like, make something happen. I think playing around counterspell for, like, the rest of the game isn't doing enough for me. Thoughtseize. Okay. On the bright side, this does mean he might have to fetch and then fetch again to Teferi next turn, which turns on Drown in the Lock. I'm just not gonna play Teferi. So, Teferi bounce Shadow. I get to untap. Luris. Replay Shadow. Luris Bauble, replay Shadow. Or Luris Bauble, double Shadow. No, I don't have enough black mana. Everyone getting inspired by Waffo. Looks like it, doesn't it? Alright, so I've got like Spring Verdict off the top. Come on, Magic Online. Yep. Gotta love it sometimes. Gotta love it. That is a pretty good top deck here. Now get to kill Teferi, play Shadow, and hold up Drown for the big Teferi. I returned Turok to my sideboard because of blue-white control, but haven't paired to it recently. I mean, I played it twice this league. Archmage's Charm, take my Shadow. Yeah. Our spell. this song, song and dance 100 times. What an unholy heat. Am I playing Dress Down? Yeah. We are playing Dress Downs. Isn't it in the stream title? Grixis Dress Down Shadow? Dress Downless Dress Down? If he finds a landing and just colonnade us. Could just have like a prismatic ending here. Draw a card. Alright, you got it. Alright. Whew. Why am I getting these matchups today? So I'm not really afraid of Murktide here, but Snapcaster is still a consideration. Maybe I don't want to bring them all in. Because if he's on Rest in Peace, then like Spellbomb doesn't do anything for me. Something like have bolts and dress downs. Would I? Bolt can ping off planeswalkers. Dress down is not doing enough. Dress down stops snaps ETB. It does, but like I really don't want to have a card in the deck just for Snapcaster. That's pretty narrow. Shadow Blowout also. The issue with that argument is it's a Shadow Blowout in the sense that it's the exact same as Battle Rage. Like, it's good if your Shadow is on the board and living and getting to attack, and it's not good otherwise. And it's more likely that we're going to be in an otherwise situation than in a situation where Shadow's on the board, living, attacking. I'm kind of planning for that one. Urge. Like, if I don't have things to bring in, I'll keep in those kind of effects. Just because if I'm not doing that and, like, trying to push through damage, I'm not really doing anything. But if I have the choice, I'd rather take those out because they're just cards that depend on having a game plan that's already winning me the game to be effective. We've got Prismatic Ending and an Unknown. I need lands. Not technically a land. Does dodge Prismatic Ending. Alright. So I can Unholy Heat some Planeswalkers. While I kind of build up my treasure army here. He doesn't really do anything for me. Alright, we're just gonna keep working on getting some treasure lands. Like, can't even effectively Archmage's Charm this, because it just goes back to my hand into turn. Counter this. I think if he had a counter spell, I think he would have just countered the Ragavan by now. That Prismatic Ending, right? Alright, here's another Archmage's Charm. Huh. Not gonna lie, didn't see that one coming. Like, if we could have gotten our Kroxa back 5 turns ago, we'd be in a much better position. No Kroxa feels pretty bummy here. Fire up this Colonnade. You can do it, opponent. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Getting jiggy with it. Alright. That means we get Luris under Archmage's Charm. Alright. So we're gonna have to revisit our plan for game 3. What we're doing against Sanctifier on Vec. EE for 3. Ending for 3. Dress down does mess with on Vec. Not wrong there. Go for iteration. Hold the hand, iteration to exile. Can't fetch. We want to make him at least like have to respect Ragavan. Alright, now just don't attack with the Sanctifier. Good. Good. It's all coming together now. Shock it. Thank you. If I bolted into turn, then I couldn't draw a red land to be able to bolt my turn anyway. Like if somehow I did find third bolt, there, fourth bolt. Alright, so if I gotta rethink how many dress down I'm bringing in. Yeah, I did only have 3 bolt. Any of these do I want? Go like this. They've got Sanctifiers in the first place. I don't want to be so reliant on Croxa. Now, I think I'm just turn 1 thought seizing. Because I don't want to play Channeler turn 1, have them have like a prismatic ending. Chalice of the Void. Alright. I have to take Chalice because it's just the one that like doesn't let me continue playing Magic. Be on one. I don't really want to commit more into this EE, but I probably have to. No, pass. It's kind of surprising because, like, game one, he would not play Teferi into Drown in the Loch mana. In this game, he is. You get to dash Ragavan into the Teferi. Shadow. Why'd I play that dress down? Because I needed to play it in response to the Teferi. If I didn't, I wasn't doing anything, and I didn't have anything good in my hand and needed to draw new cards. Like, I got a Surveil trigger. I got a redraw. Dress down wasn't doing anything for me at the moment. I just needed things to do. Right. So, Shadow Ragavan. Like, there's a lot of times like that where I'm sitting on a Shadow, a Dragon's Rage Chandler, he's about to bounce. The dress down, like, my hand's just not doing anything. And I need to put pressure on him. So dress down replacing itself is kind of like best option I've got available. Use both his Misties or just one? One. Go ahead and try to maximize damage here. Right. Yeah. So I know he's got another Shark Typhoon. Mounts his own Snapcaster back. Yep. All right. He's drawing a Archmage's Charm. I'm just like dead as hell anyway. Like there's no way I can beat another Archmage's Charm. All right. All right. Let's find a bolt. Did I board all of them out? Nope, still one. Hardcast Shark Typhoon pass. Get your 2 life. Just totally charm take my Dragon's Rage Channeler, isn't it? The other Misty. Yep. 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 Alright. What all were our matches that league? We played that control, blue white, control. We lost to Hammer Time. We beat Jeskai, Murktide. We beat Jund. And we beat... What was the last one? Jeskai, Murktide, Jeskai Control, Hammer Time, Jund, and... Can't remember the last one to save my life. I got the control one. Let's see. I don't want to do middle of the stream. Alright, what do we think? Base of the deck still feels pretty solid. I feel like the board ins, board outs are a little wonky. Like, I was finding myself wanting to board out a lot of stuff pretty often and just, like, didn't have the things I wanted to board in. We only saw one Chalice opponent, so that was good. But other than that, like, Flusterstorm still felt good. Alpine Moon was fine. We did see an Urza Saga deck. Spellbomb was fine. Mill, that was the other one. Spellbomb was good. EE was fine. A-Command, I only think we saw it once. I guess out of the main deck, I'd say, like, Kroxo was a little awkward because we just didn't have 4 mana a lot of times. Everything else was fine. I'm still on the fence about Dress Down. I think that the card is cool. It's really good when your opponents have a bunch of, like, Urza Saga constructs out. But there's also a lot of times when you're just, like, playing it as a 2-mana draw a card. And if it's 2-mana draw a card, it's, like, actively bad, right? Because you could be playing Opt or Serum Visions or something in that spot that would just be worlds better as just a cantrip. We did have the punt game against Hammer Time, where we should have killed them and didn't. Ended up losing that game because they top decked a hammer. So our 3-2 very easily could have been 4-1. But it happens.